Hello viewers! Today I have a revolutionary product to show you, but first, I need to ask you a couple quick questions. Do you like chess? Does anyone like chess? Do you have a dog? Do you like shotguns? Does your mentally fragile American friend like chess? Will you be my friend? Are you a mentally fragile American who likes chess? You want someone to put guns into chess? Do you think that would make for an engaging and fun roguelike experience? Do you take bribes? What is chess? If you answered yes to any or all of those questions, or to any upcoming questions I'll have for you in the dead of night, you may be entitled to financial compensation by way of bank robbery, but also that means you should play Shotgun King, the final checkmate. Shotgun King is an amazing example of taking a simple premise and executing it brilliantly. You start a run and get told a story about Black King Chess Piece, who's so bad at running his kingdom that he loses all of his servants, his knights, his castle, and even his queen to the White King. Not wanting to learn his lesson, the Black King grabs his royal shotgun and goes to take back what's his. The first board loads up and you have one goal: kill the White King. Now, realistically speaking, it's normal chess, but with just one piece on your end against an ever-growing white side. And though that sounds daunting, it's called Shotgun King for a reason. The shotgun is super satisfying and super effective, letting you take out the pawns, knights, and bishops in just 1 to 2 clean shots. And it's not long before the White King is also in the grave right behind them. But what's this? Yeah, he was only the first of many White Kings. This is a roguelike after all, so after each time you beat a board, you're offered one of 2 paths to take, each of which has an upgrade for you in the form of a black card and a new obstacle with a white card. And this is where the game goes from a really novel concept to just an incredibly fun time. The upgrades range from simple stat boosts to things like your range or the amount of bullets you shoot at once, to more high concept ones like undercover mission, requiring you to step on a specific square on the board to get a buff. And the white cards vary just as strongly. Sometimes you'll only add 3 pawns to the board, sometimes you can't kill the White King while there are knights on the board, and sometimes rooks will become churches that stop you from dealing more than 2 damage at a time. The best part is you have to pick a path. You can't just coast along without upgrades. In this run, I chose to increase my maximum ammo while adding in a few more pieces that take longer to move. It takes a little longer than before, but I clear the floor as well. And it's not long before you'll come across cards that add whole new mechanics, like grenades and swords, which yes, do slowly make the game drift away from resembling chess, but that core idea of needing to slowly and tactically plan out your moves is always present. On your turn, you can either move, reload, or shoot, aside from extra actions you get from the cards you collect, and each action you take advances all the white pieces forward by 1 on their little timers. So no matter how stacked you are with good cards, there will always be that ever-present idea of needing to think carefully. What makes it all come together is, despite all the new mechanics and ideas at play that are going to be constantly shifting around, you still need to have a good grasp on how to play chess itself so you don't do shit like this. You don't want to grow up to be like this, do you? Not to brag, but I am pretty good at chess.
I see checking 8 moves.
Well, see, I just drew the last piece of Exodia, so checkmate.
You asked, so I have 4 of them.
The key part of this game, like any roguelike, is the careful consideration of what cards to get. Do pawns keep cropping up like racists on Twitter? Maybe don't give them the ability to stab you with a big stick, or to move faster. And after you've built up your carefully picked loadout, or the ramshackle cards you just kinda forced to work together because you didn't have much choice, you face off against the final boss. A giant fucking king chess piece. I love it. This game is awesome. But something I haven't mentioned so far that makes the boss little easier: you don't have to clear the board. You only have to kill the White King. So... And with that, you claim your first of many victories. But the game doesn't stop there, oh no siree, because this was only your first run on the first rank of the first shotgun. You thought the game would stop its variability at the cards? Nope, there's several shotguns, all with different starting stats, and if that wasn't enough for you, each shotgun has several ranks to them, each rank getting harder than the last one whenever you beat it, adding more pieces to the start, making pre-existing pieces even harder, or outright nerfing your own abilities. Let's sidestep talk about the gameplay for a moment and talk presentation. This game's art style is gorgeous, with lovingly crafted pixel art that only uses shades of black, white, and red, on top of the charming CRT effect that gives such a distinct style to it all. Yes, there are games that go for monochromatic colors, or games that use CRT visuals, but the way Shotgun King blends them all together just really works for me. It feels almost like a virtual chess simulator from the 90s, which is what I'm sure the devs were going for, but it's fun nonetheless. The music really adds to this as well, being a lot of atmospheric synthy instruments and digitized drums that start off all low and ominous when you're on the board, fighting for your life, then playing a small fanfare when you beat the board, only to drop lower and become dramatic as you realize you have to pick your poison for the next level, and transitioning right back into the low registers again. It's great and sits perfectly between engaging enough that I don't feel bored by it, but not so distracting that I can't focus while it plays. The distinct soundscape too, the pieces being set up at the start, the crunchy compressed explosion of the shotgun when you fire it, the beeps and warnings you give if you almost put yourself in check, it all adds to that simulation vibe I was talking about, and it works flawlessly to give this game such a unique feeling that so few games can pull off. And now with a little build up, let's talk about the gameplay some more, because did you think the game would stop there with new stuff to show you? Did you? If so, what is wrong with you? The main mode that we've been playing is the Throne mode, shotguns and ranks and all that, but it also has two equally fun side modes. There's the roguelike necessity of an endless mode, where after filling out your cards you just roll with what you have until you die, with the game continually adding more and more pieces each time you clear a board. With how fluid and dynamic the regular game already is, the endless mode is, of course, a ton of fun, and if you're cool like me and use rats in your build, then you can get pretty far in it. Just don't play the clip of me dying like only a few turns after I said stop. Then there's chase mode, which can be seen as more of an arcade mode. Run around the board killing everything in sight and see how many waves of enemies you can handle. And like, I'm not that good at this one, but it's still plenty of fun, I promise. I think one of my actual favorite aspects, however, is that despite the whole idea of needing to think critically and carefully, once you get the basic mechanics and subtle tricks down, you can blow through runs in just a few minutes. I've had runs that clock in at only 6 or so minutes each, and I know that isn't saying much when I've put in literally over 100 hours on the game, so of course I know a lot of the ins and outs, but I also haven't unlocked every shotgun and every rank, so I've still got plenty of time to sink into this game before I'm anywhere near done with it. The game has become one of my favorite roguelikes, setting up such a funny premise of play chess but with a shotgun, and actually building upon that idea without ever getting old. I can only imagine that the easy part was coming up with the silly gimmick, but it's genuinely commendable to see a game take what would be a dumb hypothetical you would come up with while talking to your friends, and make it a relatively deep and fun gameplay loop. I know this was a shorter video than usual, but this was one of those times I was playing a game I absolutely love and randomly realized, wait a minute, I haven't made a video on this? What's wrong with me? And hopefully me gushing about it has convinced you to at least check it out. It is only $10. If you're still skeptical on how much you'll enjoy it, there's a free demo that gives you a pretty good idea of the main game, so like, there's no harm in trying it. And hopefully I'll see you out on the chessboard.